Hey guys, it's Eitan. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are making my favorite food of all time. I eat this almost every day. We are making pizza, and the type of pizza we're making is a basil pesto pizza with fresh ripped Parmesan, these beautiful grape tomatoes over here, some basil. It is gonna all come together into the ultimate pizza. So to start, over here in my food processor, I'm gonna make the basil pesto. It is super easy to make. Right over here I have some fresh basil leaves that I made sure to wash thoroughly. Let's add this straight into there. All right, let's get that all in there. And then to that, we're also gonna add in some of these pine nuts. They are totally worth the money. They're a little bit expensive, but they really make basil pesto just super, super delicious. Also, we're gonna go in there with some garlic cloves for a little bit of like that zing, extra flavor. And we're gonna start by mixing that up on low. All right, looks great. All we wanted to do there was kind of just compress it all and make sure we don't have like huge leaves. I'm gonna take a spoon and now just push down the sides to make sure that it's all gonna get incorporated in there. And we're now gonna let it go again, but this time, while it's going, we're gonna take this top thing off. We're gonna drizzle in about half a cup of olive oil until you see that comes together into a nice pesto sauce. What will sometimes happen, depending on the size of your food processor, it might like go up the sides. So periodically, you're just gonna wanna scrape it down and then keep going. All right, that is it. That looks great. Now to this, we're gonna add in some freshly grated Parmesan cheese. You really just wanna kind of mix this for a second. You don't want it to get like too broken down. So literally just for a second to fully incorporate it. And that is perfect. I mean, just look at that beautiful color in there. It just looks and smells absolutely incredible. Now, let's start on our pizza dough. Over here, I have some store-bought dough. I know you might be thinking like, Eitan, why are you using store-bought dough? But seriously, if you buy the frozen raw dough, let it defrost, and then make pizza with it, it just makes the best pizza when you don't have time to make homemade dough, which I love doing, but during a busy school night, I just don't have the time. So this totally works. And really the secret to good pizza is in the oven, which I'll talk about in a minute. So let's stretch out our pizza dough. And as always, whenever you're working with dough that you're kind of stretching out or kneading, you want to make sure that you have a nicely floured surface so it doesn't stick. Making pizza is like one of my favorite things to make and eat. It's something I've been doing with my family for ever since I can remember. It's probably actually one of the first things I've ever cooked. When I was a little kid, I remember just like making it with my whole family. So that's another reason I love pizza. But I mean, it probably mostly has to do with the taste, to be honest. But there's also some great memories. You know, let's even try. This doesn't always work. Let's see if it'll work. Let's see. Oh, there we go. That worked. All right, here we go. That's like a fancy technique. Let's do that one more time. Oh, that really worked. All right, awesome. Okay, perfect. Now let's move this over to the side. Oh, I got flour everywhere, but it was worth it. That was super cool. Now over here, I have a pizza peel. This is a purchase I made after I was on Chopped on the Food Network. They gave me a gift card to Food Network store. I bought this humongous pizza peel, and it is seriously one of the best purchases ever. You got to go get one of these. They're like maybe 25 bucks, and they seriously make all the difference. But if you don't have one of these, for what I'm doing right now, you can just use the back of a baking sheet. Then to this, it's very important that you nicely flour it. If you don't have all-purpose flour, another thing that works really great, maybe even better than all-purpose flour, is semolina flour. So any type of flour will really work. Make sure it's nice and coated. And let's transfer our pizza dough on here. And it is super important before you add on your toppings. I always like to give it a little jiggle like this to, oh, no, we don't want it to fall off like that. But I always like to give it a nice little jiggle to make sure that it's not sticking at all, because if it's sticking and you go to put it on the pizza stone in the oven, it's just gonna make a mess, and we don't want that to happen. So this is good. Let's stretch it out a little bit more. All right, perfect. Now onto this, we are going to spoon our basil pesto that we just made. Oh, look at that beautiful green color. Get all of that on there. Here we go. And just spread it around. Oh, this looks so good. Oh my gosh, I would eat this like raw. I mean, probably not, but it looks so good, I may. All right, let's spread this out. Make sure you want to leave a nice crust on the outside. Perfect. Now, This is one of the keys to making really good pizza. Everyone loves a good like classic American pie, but if you want a nice margarita, or in this case is basil pesto, fresh mozzarella in a ball like this seriously takes your pizza to a whole other level. They do sell it pre-cut, but I like to actually buy it in a whole ball, and then you actually tear it apart. Look at that. See that nice? That's what you get with that fresh mozzarella. Oh my gosh, it's like the best. So you rip off pieces, and you're just gonna put those pieces that you ripped off onto your pizza. And you know, it doesn't have to be even. I like that kind of like artisan, handmade look. Doesn't need to be perfect. All right, perfect. That looks like a good amount of cheese. Oh, let's fill in this over here. Perfect. And let's move this to the side. Next thing is our heirloom grape tomatoes. If you're able to find these heirloom grape tomatoes, I highly recommend them. They just look absolutely beautiful. If not, you could totally use any type of tomato, but these heirloom tomatoes are the way to go if you can get them. And you just want to cut them in half and place them onto your pizza. And when doing this, I like to use all different kinds and shapes. Like as you see here, we have this kind of like long yellow one. We have round yellow ones. So just get tons of different shapes and colors of the tomatoes will really just make it look so good. Like look at this awesome red one. I mean, come on. It's like purple almost. All right, let's get a few of these. You can put some whole ones on there. Really just have fun with it. And that is looking so good. The last thing that I like to top off my pizza with is a little sprinkle of some red chili flakes. If you don't like spicy food, you can leave it out, but I think just the hint of it, literally just small sprinkle, really takes it to a whole other level. It gives like little hints of that extra flavor and spice. Plus, this is totally optional because we already have a lot of olive oil in our pesto, but I like to add just a touch of olive oil on the crust, just a little drizzle, so it gets nice and crispy. And then that is it. So right now in my oven, I'm preheating it to 550 degrees Fahrenheit. The key to good pizza is the hottest temperature your oven will possibly go to. Then in there for a while, I've been preheating my pizza stone. Pizza stone seriously takes your pizza to a whole other level. It is totally worth the extra 20 bucks. Go to the store or online, get yourself a pizza stone. It makes the total difference. It gives you that really nice crust while also having a nice top. If you don't have a pizza stone, you could just turn over a cookie sheet and bake it on the top of a cookie sheet. But trust me, pizza stone is worth the extra $20. It takes your pizza to a whole other level. All right, let's go bake this off in the oven, and then it's time to eat this pizza. I don't know about you guys, but this pizza looks like a work of art. Oh my gosh, this is probably one of the best pizzas I've ever seen. Let's just get right into it. Let's get a nice slice. We have that thick crust. You have that like pesto. You have the cheese that's getting nice and brown to gooey. You have, oh my gosh, it just looks so good. Let's get a nice slice of it in here. Go. All right, let's take a bite. Look at that. You have that crunchy crust on the bottom from the pizza stone. That's why you gotta use a pizza stone. It is just wafting off. Oh, this looks so good. All right, let's dig in. Oh my gosh. Seriously, one of the best pizzas you will ever have. It has that crunchy crust on the bottom, topped with that super savory basil pesto. You have the gooey, super gooey, and just cheesy, fresh mozzarella cheese that is just so delicious. You have the fresh tomatoes. It all just comes together into one amazing pizza. If you want the recipe, you can get it in the description box below. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for tons of more awesome videos. All right, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go finish this whole pizza pie.